Aziz, shalom, assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam. All right, so for those of you who think Kobe is dead, I don't have any proof that he's alive, but I have an idea. And I personally don't believe he's dead. It is all ritual stuff. See, notice he's sitting in a chair with a snake. I know they call him the Black Mamba. I never understood why they call him the Black Mamba. What does that have to do with basketball? And what does a snake have to do with basketball or his skills, or how do you make that comparison? I never understood it. But okay, they called him the Black Mamba. If you think this is a coincidence, then okay, I can't make you see otherwise. But for those who know there is no such thing as coincidences and know that there is something going on, meaning it's not a conspiracy, it's a fact. From the Earth being flat, it is not round. If the world is round, then it defies all logic. It defies mechanics. It defies a lot of crap that we don't even know about. Meaning, understand that if the world is as big as it is and it has centrifugal force, if you know what centrifugal force is, it's when you're on a merry-go-round, you go round and round, and what happens? You feel that force throwing you out. How can water stick to something spinning so fast and then have this theoretical word called gravity, which hasn't been proven? And by the way, the word gravity comes from a Latin word, gravitas, and gravity means ground. It doesn't mean some invisible force holding everything to the ground. It just means ground. There were tests done, but again, I'm not going to get into all that because, yeah. But anyway, point is, learning about these things over the years, I knew something was up long before I found Flat Earth. When I was traveling, even as a child, when I was going back and forth to Jamaica to New York, and I always used to ask, why can't you see the curve of the Earth? As a kid, I'm 5 years old, asking, why can't I see the curve of the Earth? And it's by far no coincidence, but that 30, 40 years later in my adult life, I figured it out. Not just figured it out, you got to use your logic. And me being an artist, you understand how light works and the mechanics of shadows, and that's how I started with it. And I was being shown by other artists how, if the Earth was round in such a way, it wouldn't cast a shadow on the moon like that in such a way. And at the same time, how many times have you seen the moon in a crescent moon in the same sky as the sun? Okay. Try to really understand this. If the crescent moon is in the day sky with the sun, how then can the shadow of the Earth be forming a shadow on it? It can't. It's illogical. It's stupid. It's only in a fairy tale that could happen. Cow jumping over the moon kind of nonsense. It can't happen. And when you start to really ask these questions deep within, you start to realize, like, yo, you're living in a lie. And that's ironic, because years ago when this all started with me, a voice came to me and said, everything you know is right is wrong. Wipe the slate clean and start over. And I remember just thinking, oh, that's the weed talking. I'm just high. But it wasn't. From that day forward, when I heard that voice, to now, that was almost 20 years now, I've been discovering and realizing and coming across and waking up and realizing, like, wow, they're just lying from NASA to the government. My child support issue, is another cover up. All this stuff just keeps us busy. It keeps us busy. You rent, you're paying your mortgage, you think you own something. Let me tell you something, folks. You don't even own the heart that beats in your chest. If you own the heart that beats in your chest, then you tell it when to stop beating and you tell it when to start. That heart in your chest is going to stop when it wants to. All right? There's more proof that you don't own it. You don't own anything. We own nothing here. We're just borrowing. And the fact that we live by this owning philosophy is part of demonism. You know, you're in hell. Understand, even that word school is a Hebrew word. We're just mispronouncing it. It's shul, and shul means hell. And we're sending our children to hell every day. And it's funny because it fits perfectly, because they're learning nothing but lies. And I failed high school miserably, and I'm glad I did now. You know, I always thought I was a dumbass, but I'm not. I realize I'm actually very awake compared to most people, and you know, when I start talking about stuff, nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares about it. I lost all my friends because of this. My family doesn't talk to me. I don't talk to them either. That's fine with me. But something has been showing me these things all along the way, from India to Egypt to Germany to here. And it's still going strong, and it's still going on. And it's sad that you know, people cannot just look at it closer and just come to an understanding that you're being lied to. There's no conspiracy. And you know, if you understood the word conspiracy means to talk amongst yourselves. So it's crazy. It's just nuts what's happening here, but it's going full throttle and it's getting worse. Ghost sightings are going up. UFO sightings are going up. Natural catastrophes are getting more and more severe. Floodings, unusual shit. And guarantee no one, most people who have YouTube ain't checking half that stuff out, or just bypassing, or YouTube doesn't feed into their channel. Even my channel, you know, the YouTube has definitely taken away a lot of the knowledgeable stuff, and now there's a lot of nonsense on it. But I can still find some of this stuff every now and then. Point is, I'm showing this video because I don't care. I don't believe Kobe Bryant's dead. Just like Michael Jackson, I saw the very same day or the next day that they put him on. I mean, the day that he died, it was either that night or the next day. Some guy on YouTube showed a video showing Michael Jackson walking out the hospital into a black Cadillac Escalade. I remember looking at that and saying, "What the F is going on here, man? What's that about?" But it has something to do with crying. If you understand this word Christ doesn't come from no Latin word or Greek word of anointed one or anything like that. It's nonsense. The word Christ comes, it's related to the word cry. You know, they cried when they put him on the cross, or when they faked putting him on the cross. But they're Christ. You're a Christ. You cried for him. You're a Christ. All right, you cried for the man that saved us, or would have saved us, or could have saved you, healed many people, and he wasn't the only one. There were many, but there's a reason why they're focusing on this one. Just the words, man. The words actually tell a lot of the truth itself. Like the word "like." If you notice, the word "lie" is in front of "like." You notice all these people, when you get on their videos, they're like, "Yo, like my video, just like it, please like it." That's so they could get paid, some of them. And it just occurred to me just today that the word "lie" is in front of that. And just like the word "believe," Beelzebub lied to Eve. Believe, be-lie Eve. Get it? Be-lie Eve, Beelzebub. If you don't know who Beelzebub is, it's the devil. It's Satan, or one of his many names. And that's in the Bible. Certain words I try not to use anymore because of that. And I think "like" is going to be my new one. I can't believe the word "lie" is in front of it. Anyway, check this out. This is 2016 Comedy Central apparently predicted Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash. And it's just a joke, man. It's funny to me. Like, wow, they're just putting this shit in our faces, and they don't take it down. You know, they don't want you to. They don't care if there's some of us who know the truth. They don't give a. They don't care, and that's what it's about. I mean, they're still making almost every movie that they put out there that has to do with something major in history is mostly a lie. I mean, look at Netflix. They just did this Messiah, which I think that's long overdue, but they did that for a reason. Maybe something they're going to try to force some type of false prophet on us this year with their CGI and their magic and who knows what. But beware, unless you see it in person, don't trust what you see on the tube, because they're good with the CGI. That's what they're doing with NASA. They're going out into fake space, making you believe they're floating, and they're not even in space. They can't leave. We have a dome over us, folks. I don't care how crazy that sounds to you, but we have a dome over us, okay? Science tells us that in order to trap gas, it has to be enclosed. Air is a gas. How can the air of the earth not have a covering? Even if it was round, how can it not have a covering? How does gas not escape? Anyway, you figure it out. But I know the truth, and every day I look at it, it's funny. Like, I'm gonna post a video I just saw 2 days ago. There was a long line in the sky of a cloud. You got to see it. It's incredible. I'm gonna post it up, and you'll see. There's something unusual going on in our planet, and it really does make me wonder: are we in a simulation? I mean, if you believe that God was who He was, I mean, God may have just been a programmer of some kind in that sense, and in a sense, it's the same thing. You know, God made us in His image, and what are we doing? We're making computers in our image. We're doing the same thing. And that computer, if it ever becomes conscious, will look at us as a god because we brought it to life, or we brought that technology to life. Anyway, check this video out and check out what I'm showing you right now. Watch. 2016, folks. This came out. This so-called coincidence from Comedy Central. Black Mamba. I don't get any of that, but whatever. You obviously see when he was at Rutgers. Oh, watch this. See that? See that? 2016. You think he's really dead? Whatever. Believe it or you want, but I mean, that's part of the program, and they want you to be thinking about this because there's probably something spiritual happening right now that we really need for ourselves, and we're obviously paying more attention to this nonsense. Even I'm paying attention to this nonsense to some degree than doing who knows what. Maybe these are Sabbath days that we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be more conscious on something else than this kind of nonsense. Anyway, yeah, just had to show this and just show you that they're playing jokes on us. They're just playing with us, and we're paying that money to see it. I don't watch no basketball anymore. That's all the basketball games are rigged, and I seen it for myself. I used to play ball, by the way, and I played with guys who could shoot your lights out, who could do anything they wanted. But when you play, and then you see these guys on TV playing, and you see some things like Stephen Curry throwing away the ball when he's a great shooter. I saw it for myself, man. They threw that title away, and that's because it's fixed. The games are fixed, every single one of them. I'm even convinced now that all the Jordan games, all that nonsense, all that crap was fixed. Anyway, you be the judge.